Oh, g'day folks. Today I want to talk to you about one of my tents. I say one of because I've got a few for different purposes. This is the most recent purchase. It's one I used in a recent video kayaking on the Upper Noosa River. First time I'd used it. So I want to give you my first impressions. I've just tried to find the specs of this on the internet, but couldn't seem to get what I wanted. But from memory, they claim it was about 1.5 kilos. I think it ended up being more like 1.6, and then you've got the ground sheet as well. So I think it's probably more like 1.6 with the ground sheet. You don't have to use that if you don't want to. I actually used that on the recent trip just as a ground sheet to sort gear out on. And I put a 5x7 reflective tarp under this to reflect body heat because I wasn't sure how cold it was going to be. Anyway, that's all irrelevant. I want to talk about the tent. Now, if you've done any research on tents, ultralight hiking tents, to get the real good quality, real ultralight tents, you have to spend a fair bit of money. Ultimately, I'd like an MSR, but this, for about the $200 Australian mark, was about the lightest I could find. So I thought for the value for money was pretty good. Now, while I'm talking to you, I'm going to put this up so you can see in real time, and I'm not going to rush it. I'll show you in real time how long it takes to put it up. Now, one thing I did have was, when I used it, was the ground sheet was extending, because I wasn't using that. The ground sheet I used was extending beyond the outside of the tent. So water did get between the ground sheet and this. This is really thin, and I was a bit dubious about whether, how waterproof it was going to be. But I have to say, with a fair bit of rain over the couple of days I was out, it didn't get a drop of water inside the tent, so I was quite pleased with that. So first thing, of course, you unroll the tent, and inside is your fly sheet, pegs, and your elastic, what do you call them? I don't know what you call them, your tent poles or your bows, all with your bungee cord. So that's all in one piece basically, it all clips together. I'll show you that shortly. Now, first things first, let's throw this mat down that comes with it. Now this is about the flattest part of the garden I've got, but it's also about the hardest to get a peg in because you see by the gravel here, it's very hard packed. This is where we turn the cars around. Now, I'm not going to bother pegging this ground sheet down unless the wind blows it away while I'm trying to use it. But ground sheet or footprint, some people call it a footprint. Now, I might have to peg it down, there's a bit of a breeze. I'll get the pegs out. They're aluminium pegs, although I think you get a few guy ropes too, which I haven't attached. The aluminium pegs, don't know how hard the ground is, but they might go in. I think if you can, just use some sticks if the ground's soft enough. And that's one less thing to clean. These have got a bit of bungee cord on the end. This hammer's a bit overkill, but it's first one I grabbed in the garage. I'm not going to go overboard driving those in. This is only to stop it blowing away while I put the tent on it. As I say, I'm not rushing this, I'm just taking my time. Doesn't take a long time to put up. It's supposed to be a two-person tent, but I think one person and a bag of gear would be comfortable. Two's getting a bit squeezy. And the reason I bought it was on the off chance that the wife might want to come out with me one day and do an overnight hike somewhere. She's over behind you planting some new roses we just picked up. Hello, dear. Oh, there's a rock. I've just realised I've put this upside down, so I've got to take it out. Get off. Actually has clips on it so that you can tie the guy ropes to the tent, the corners down to the ground sheet, and I just had that down that way. So start again. If you wanted to, you could just leave it at that and put the framework and the fly sheet up and not worry about the screened section of the tent. Now when you're setting it up, you see the part with a little triangle there, triangle window, that's actually the back. Like most tents, you have a framework. It all just snaps together. That's the back. This tent tapers towards the back. And if you look there, there's a bow toward the front on the ridgepole. So you have these holes in the bottom there. Just slot that in the hole. Right, so I'll actually pop those into the same holes. So it's very easy to put up, as I say. I'm not rushing. If you're in a hurry, I think you can do it a hell of a lot quicker. Snap all your clips on. So for one person, it is quite roomy. Two, as I say, getting a bit tight. So I haven't been timing that. I can have a look how long we've been recording. 10 minutes I've been talking and messing about, and I made a mistake. As I say, you could do it a lot quicker if you're in a hurry. You get your fly. That's the back with the little triangle bit again. Now those clips I mentioned earlier, where are they? Pop those clips into those clips, male into the female, pretty straightforward, pretty foolproof. Even I can mess it up. Don't trip over the tent peg like I just did. So you can actually clip it to the ground sheet clip instead. That way your peg's holding it down. Right. Now, depending on how far you want to go with the setup, as I say, I've only used it once and I haven't tied all the guy ropes on, but you've got a rope on the back corner, one on the side there. You can also put one on each side here to pull the sides out, and if you want, one on each side there. Peg your front out. You've got a small vestibule there. I won't bother going any further, I think you get the general idea there. So yeah, you can put an additional two on the back. There's a vent there. You can actually open that vent up at the back. There's a little stiff section that holds it out, but then you've got to put your string on it so the wind doesn't blow it up. Your guy line, sorry. So altogether, apart from your corner pegs, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guy ropes you can put on if you wanted to. I guess it all depends on how windy it's going to be, but I find that it's the unexpected gusts that messes you up every time. So yeah, value for money, I think it's pretty good. For the weight, I think you'd be hard pressed to get anything lighter for that sort of money. To get this seriously lightweight tent, you've really got to spend, you know, up around the $1,000 Australian mark. Up around 1,000, 1,200. But yeah, Naturehike Cloud 2 Up Cloud, they call that one. Comes in a variety of colours, and I've got to say I'm pretty happy with it, although I've only used it once. But anyway, if you've got any questions about it, just pop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. So here it is now with all the guy ropes attached. Whether you choose to put all the guy ropes on is another matter. I actually noticed that I didn't notice this when I was using it, but under here there's a little strap that clips on the side of the tent, so that when you pull this up, it actually lifts that side of the tent a little bit. Right, there's the vent at the back. You could put another guy rope on that if you like. I've got one on here and one from the bottom just to the same peg. You could, if you wanted to, put another one on there. This has a little Velcro. It's rigid, it's got a bit of plastic in it or something, but you lift that up to hold the vent open.